Hey, Manny CA here, and got a couple questions about you guys asking how I do my annealing process and my cleaning process for swaging some of the projects that we do on the site, on the channel here. So I thought I'd go through my methods of picking brass and how I go about doing it. So we've got a couple of these containers full of brass. I got some 5-gallon buckets, but this makes it easier. Every time I go to the range, I pick up brass. 22, 38, whatever, dirty stuff, clean stuff. You can see here, this stuff is just old and nasty. And this stuff, I think that's steel. Who knows? Well, anyway, you get the point. I pick up brass, I pick up nickel. I got some nickel in here. I pick up stuff that's old. I pick stuff up that's corroded. I pick stuff up that who knows how old it is. Anyway, yeah, look at this. This is a belted Magnum. Crazy. Pick it up, throw it in the box. Even this, we can get it to look brand new. It's amazing. Pick it up, lug it home, and whatever I don't use, I'll recycle. But sometimes, you get a wild hair, get an idea brewing. I go through my bucket here, pick out the brass, and this time we're going to be doing, I got an idea for doing, well, we can't use him. His mouth is crushed. See that? Back in the pile you go, buddy. Let's get a replacement for you. There we go. Now, let's see, and you can't swage stuff that doesn't have, when you have the primer pocket missing like that, the primer missing. You need stuff that's got primer. But anyway, what you do is go through, pick what you want. In this case, we got some 45 ACP, and I recycled this stuff I picked up off the range a while ago, and it's just a mixture of stuff. It's got that nasty, nasty SNB brass. Oh, I shudder to think when I got to load that stuff. And you can see by the red mark on the primer, a lot of this stuff is S&B. Oh, yeah. And then we've got the Blazer Small Pistol Primer 45, which is a heresy in and of itself. Try to get that in your auto-loading press over there, and you break something. So these guys are going to be sacrificed to the altar of the swaging gods. That's great. And then we got something else. I got some 223s. Some old 223s over here that we're going to try to get some ideas swaging down. Well, after you picked out your brass, the next step is the kitchen. Alright, here we are in the kitchen. What I like to do is lay down my brass on cooking sheets. I always put a piece of aluminum foil down on the bottom just so the missus doesn't get angry at me. Then what you do, into the oven they go. And set your oven to clean. And lock it. And that's it. Give it about an hour. Come back, shut it off. Alright, after about an hour and some change later, we cooked us some brass. It's warm. Now you can see the coloration on them. They got scaled out. Let me show you real quick here. We take one and see if I can get this thing cooled off pretty quick here, and show you how it's supposed to be. Let's run one. Oh, a little warm. Let's run one under some running water here and cool it off. Now, there's, you can see I dented it just by throwing it in the sink right there, and you can see now how it's kind of soft, it's malleable. So these guys, you see the scale on there too. What we'll do next, what we'll do next is we'll go through, we'll put them through the tumbler, show you guys how to clean them up and get them clean as heck for the inside, and get them ready for swaging. Alright, after they come out of the oven, we've got our tumbling media, soap, and hot water ready to go. This is just one of those cheap Harbor Freight tumblers. kind of take a look on there. And here's a two little bit of the rubber tumblers that come with it. You can see how much I put in there, about half. So here's the shotgun shell for reference, so you can kind of see how much I put in there. Don't fill it up too much because you want to make sure that you clean them out really good. See? And especially if you overfill these things, they take forever to clean. Next thing is you add your tumbling media. This is the steel pin I use. You see these are, let me show you what they're, I forgot the size of them, but they're 5 pounds. You can see right there. You put about 2 pounds of tumbling media. I kind of like to fill it up. Per container. Alright, now you're going to add the pectin, which is, you see it over here, it's called Fruit Fresh, but what it is citric acid basically. The citric acid is great at cleaning, even with tarnished brass. I'll put, I mean, you don't really got to put that much in it. This is about a tablespoon, but I use about, just like that, a quarter to a third of a tablespoon in each. You don't got to put a lot. This stuff is really active. Some guys even reuse the liquid. I think that's just ridiculous. Stuff is cheap. So, spread around there. And I put 2 pumps or so of, now this is green dishwashing liquid. Remember, we got a lot of dirt in there. 2 pumps of dishwashing liquid. And then I add hot water from my kettle. And I'll add hot water just about 2/3 from the top, or 3/4 from the top. You'll see it starting to bubble already. That's the citric acid. So doing this one-handed is not good. Top them up, and the water is not boiling water that I put from my kettle. It's just hot water. It's hot enough to put your fingers in. There you go. And the reason I do that is I think it cleans better, but that's me. Top them up. You can see when you start working with large amounts of brass, this is really time consuming. But you know what? I think it's worth it. Turn on your tumbler. Whoop. Tumble away. We'll leave that for about an hour. So I'll show you guys how we rinse after an hour. After about an hour, maybe hour and a half is up, this is what you get. They look kind of foamy, dark, dirty, foamy water. I pour it, strain in the sink. You'll see the media's inside all the brass. See? So using this as a colander, you kind of take it back and forth. And the media will fall to the bottom. Let me show you. You see how the water is just dirty water. And you see initially what they look like. Shiny, clean. And this basket has these holes in them big enough for the media to fall through. The steel media will fall through, see, and sit on the bottom. I just kind of run water through here and take it back and forth. See? Show you when they're all dried up. And here's our finished product. Annealed, washed, cleaned, dried. Look at that gold. sparkle. Beautiful. Look inside. Let's see if I can get a close-up with my camera. Look at that. Beautiful. Clean. See the primer? Even the pockets are just... You could even see the gleam in the pockets. Man, they look better than the day they were made. Now remember, this was nasty range brass. Small pistol primers. See that? Right there. Small pistol primer. 45s that we're using for a project. Just want to let you guys take a look at that. Look at that. It's pretty. Oh, man. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, and here we did some 223 brass. Again, nasty, dirty. Most of it's Lake City. Fired in big chambers. Just sooty. Look at that. Light gold. One tip. Before you run this with your media, I would suggest you trim to length. Trim the neck off. That way your media, because the media got stuck in here, and it was just a pain having to go through and underwater just kind of shake them out and take all the water or the media out of them. And then the water is a suction that creates in there, and that's just a hassle. I only did a couple, but if I were going to do any large amounts, I trim them first. Trim them to your length, or heck, just trim off up to the neck, man, so you don't have to have that hassle. That's the way we clean, anneal our brass. So you see, before you swage with them, you want to make sure you get all the scale off of them from annealing. And you can see the insides of these cases are just marvelous. Look at it, beautiful, clean. You know, what's this guy? Every once in a while you get one that, he's going to go back in the wash. He's a little dark. What's this? This piece, I remember, this was nasty. That's a large pistol primer. I might not even, well, they're annealed now, so we're going to have to use them. You guys have any questions, by all means, shoot me an email message. You know, if you guys have a better way of doing this, by all means, I want to hear it. You know, again, like I always say, join the NRA, because they're the ones that let you do stuff like this or shoot them. I know they had problems in the past, but you know what? We've got to stand, you know, we got to unite together under the forces of evil that are coming together to take our rights away. I know it sounds cliche, but you know what? If I'm going to sound cliche, I'm going to sound cliche. Second Amendment Foundation, another great organization. So, till next time.